proceed and continue. Now, so there is a graph here, and it say use the bar graph below to answer the questions below. Use the bar graph below to answer the questions below. So this one is the bar graph. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to check, we're going to check this side is called this side is usually called the y axis, and this side is called the x axis. So we're going to check the number of kilograms. Like this one was the number of kilograms of beans. Okay, so beans on this day were 50 kilograms. Okay, then we have maize. So maize is 30. We have millet. Millet is 40. Then we have sorghum. Sorghum is 20. Then we have green grams, and green grams is 10. Then we also have cowpeas, and cowpeas is 30. We have peas, and peas is 40. So here we are saying that what is the total number of seeds collected for the last 4 days? What is the total number of seeds collected for the last 4 days? So the last 4 days, how many days were these? So the last 4 days, what is the total number of seeds collected for the last 4 days? Okay, so the last 4 days we have 1, 2, 3. Then you just add these, like the 40 add to 30, that is 70. 70 you add to 10. So the answer here is 80. So the number of seeds were 80 seeds. Okay, so what is the average number of seeds collected? So all this number of seeds, then you divide by 2. So that is how we work out those sums. Okay, so let's turn to these other ones. So let's turn to another thing. So we say that we have several ways in which we can use. We have a number of ways that we can use so that we can get the square of numbers. The square of numbers. So square. So squares. How do we say square? Like when you say x times x. So x times x is equals to x squared. So that's a square of a number. Like now when you say y multiplied by y, shall you have y squared. Now, so there's a trick that you can use to get, for example, 15 squared. So we can also calculate maybe 25 squared. So there's a trick that you can use to calculate those numbers. Like when you take, for an example, 15 squared, we're going to say 15 squared is equals to 15 squared. So 15 squared is equals to this number here, that is 1. Then this one we multiply by the number that is now 1 plus 1. That is, it's a rule, we automatically add 1, then plus this one here. Then we close the bracket. So when we add 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 times 1 is 2. So the answer is 2. Then now this 5 we square it automatically by itself. Like 5 squared is 25. So now 15 squared becomes 225. So that is how we simply work them out. Like 15 squared, we say is equals to 1 this 1 here, the second digit, then multiply by 1. So where do we get this one? This one is a rule. We simply put it this one plus, again, this one here. So now 1 plus 1 becomes 2. That is the number inside the bracket. Then now 2 times 1 is 2. Then later on we square this 5 alone, and 5 squared is 25. Then the answer is 225. That's the square root of, the square of 15. 15 square is this. Now we can also find the one for 25 by using the similar method. Like 25 squared is equals to, you see the digit 2, this digit 2, we are going to say 2 the same way we worked out this one, the second digit. So this one, the second digit is 2, so we put here 2. So 2 multiply by, then into bracket now. So into bracket we have which number here? So into bracket we have 2, this 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, and 3 times 2 is 6. So we shall have 6 here. And 5 alone, 5 squared is 25. So the answer becomes 625. So 25 squared becomes this. It's a shorter method of working these ones out. Then the same way as 15 squared, we say is equals to, this one is the second digit, that is 1, multiplied by 1. 1 is a rule, you must put 1 plus, again, the 1 for this second digit here. And the answer is 225. The same way we've worked out for 25 squared. So 25 squared, we've said the second digit is 2, so we put 2 multiplied by, again, 2 here, then plus 1, because it's a rule, the same way we had put this plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 times 2 is 6. So that is 6 is what we write here. Then we now square 5 alone. 5 squared is 25. So the answer becomes 625. It's the same thing with this other one. Now, let's try the one for 35, if it can work. 35 squared is equals to this 3. The second digit is 3. Multiply by, into bracket. We have which numbers? We have this 3 plus 1. Then we close the bracket. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Then 4 times 3 is 12. So we simply write that 12 like that. Then we square that 5 alone. And 5 squared is 25. So you put that 25, and the answer becomes 1225. So it's a shorter way of working out the things to do with the square roots. You don't have to go the long method. You don't have to go through the long method of multiplication. No, this one is the shortest method that you can use to multiply any number. Is one of the best and the shortest method of multiplication. So you can always use this method and this method and this method, because all of them are usually the correct method, and they can always lead you to the correct answer. So you don't have to struggle like you want to multiply 15 multiply by 15. This one is a long method, and this one is when you want to save time, just use the square. You begin with this 1 here, you bring it here, multiply by 1, so multiply by, into bracket we have 1 plus 1. So it's a trick. So this formula works for those numbers that ends with 5. The 2-digit numbers that end with 5, you can use this, but not all numbers. Like you cannot, if suppose you want to find the square of 22, this method cannot lead you to the square of 22. So this method only works for those numbers that ends with the 5, with the last digit as 5. That is the only numbers that it works with, but the rest it will not be appropriate. Let's move to the one for 45. So when you put the one for 45 here, like 45 squared, Okay, 45 squared. So what shall we have for the 45 squared? So here we shall have this 4. So we put that 4 here. Okay, then we multiply, then you put the bracket 4 plus 1, then you close the bracket. So from there 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. So we shall write that 20 here. Then from there we shall only have to square 5, and that should be 25. So that is the answer. So the answer for 45 square brings us to 2025. Brings us to 2025. So that is the answer for 45 squared. And it is as simple as that. You know, maths is usually easy. You simply work it out, then you get the correct answer, or the answers that you may need. They're always available on the spot, and these ones are usually the shortest method of working out the squares. Don't struggle working out the square. Use the shortest method possible to arrive at the correct answer. Don't struggle. In maths, you don't struggle. In maths, we work smart. Now, let's pick if 48, if I want to work out the square of 48, right, like this 48 square, how will I work out this? Do you expect me to multiply 48 times 48? Apparently no. This one you cannot multiply 48 by 48. So what you're going to do is this. You're going to take 50, that is the bigger number, minus 48. So when you take 50, subtract from 48. What shall we have? We shall get the answer as 2. So the answer shall be 2. Then when you get the answer as 2, I want to get you the shortest method of finding the square of 48. You first take the bigger number, that is 50. 50 subtract from 48. The answer is 2. Now this 2, again you take a number like 25. Then you subtract from 2. And which answer do you get? You shall get 23. Now, when you get the answer as 23, that is the first answer that we shall have get 23. Now, this 2 that was remaining here, you do what? You square it, and 2 squared is 4. Now, you don't just write 4, you write 04. Then you come and write 04 here. Then that one becomes the answer of 48 squared is 2304. Okay, that is the shortest method of working out the squares of numbers, these bigger numbers that does not have 5 at the end. But you cannot use it on these other numbers, because these ones have 5 as the first digit. So with that, there's a different method of working out the numbers that have 5 as the last digit, as compared to the one that does not have 5 as the last digit. With them, you just take 50, that is the bigger number, that is 50, then you subtract from 48, then you get 2. Once you get 2, you take this 2, you subtract 25 from 2. When you subtract 25 from 2, you shall get 23. So then later on you come and square 2, and 2 squared is 4. So just say 04. Let's work out another one, the square of 47. So what is 47 square? I want us to use the similar formula here that I've used here, Leah's used on this one. So 47 squared, now we shall have 50 again as the bigger number, subtract from 47. Okay, so once we do that, what shall we have? We shall have 3. Then once we have 3, we're going to take again 25, subtract from 3. And the answer that we shall going to get is 22. Once you get 22 as the answer, then you're going to square this 3. And 3 squared is 9. So the answer is 2309. The answer is 2309. So this method is usually the best method that you can use in working out the square of numbers. Don't let people struggle and think maths is hard. It's one of the easiest subject. I don't have to go through multiply 47 by 47. No, I simply get some tricks to arrive at the answer. Now you can see even we've not gone a lot of steps in making the calculation becoming so confusing. No, we are just working out one or two things, then from there we get the squares very fast. You can also try this one with 42. This method works with any number like 42 squared. You just take 50, subtract from 42, and the answer that you shall get is 8. So once you get 8 as the answer, then we shall take the same way we did to 25. Take 25, subtract from 8, and from there we shall get 17. Then once we get 17, then we shall only square this 8, and 8 squared is 64. Then we shall write that as the correct answer, as 17, 6, 4. So these things are very easy, and you can always get them correctly. You can always score them. You cannot always get them. You don't have to struggle working out maths. You just have to look at what you are working out. Then from there you shall have arrived at the correct answer. So unless there is any question before we proceed to the next thing, okay, so there is a paper here. Maybe we can check it out and see how it is being done. Okay, so these ones are how we can, like, what is the perimeter of the figure below. So here we have the perimeter as 28. So we've said that perimeter, because this one is a half semicircle, we say perimeter is equals to a half pi d plus d. A half pi d plus d. So because d stands for diameter, this pi stands for 22/7. So we shall have pi as our 22/7, because it's a half semicircle. We shall have a half multiplied by 22/7, because it is pi, times d, and our d is 28. So 28 is the diameter. Then plus d, plus 28 again. So from there we shall cancel 2 here once, 2 into 22, 11. Then from there, once we do that, we shall get 11 multiplied by 4, because 7 here 1, 7 shall cancel 28, and shall get 4. So we shall get 44 plus 28, and the answer shall be 72. 72 shall be the answer. So it is simple. These ones are very simple ways for finding the perimeter, because perimeter is just the distance all around the figure. Because at times you can be asked, like, someone ran on this distance twice. Which distance did he or she cover? Someone ran on this figure twice. Which distance? Assume it was a plot of land. Then a pupil or a student ran on it twice. What distance did he or she cover? So once you've got your answer as 72, then you multiply by 2. Then you shall also get that answer. Okay, let's come to this figure here. We are asked to find the perimeter of this figure. So how do we get the perimeter? Perimeter is simply the distance around the figure. The distance around the figure. So this figure, okay, we can say that this side is A. Okay, this side is A, this side is B, then this side is C. So in this case, we shall say A plus B, B plus C, C plus A, because it is the whole distance. So A plus B, B plus C, C plus A, meaning that 29 plus 47 plus 63, and you shall get the answer as 139. It is very easy to calculate the perimeter of the two figures here, this one and this one. When you are given this one to calculate the perimeter, and the diameter is 28. Don't say this one is radius, this one is the diameter. You use the formula half pi d plus d. Then we shall arrive at the answer. Okay, let's check this. Work out 3 over 4 divided by 1 and 1 over 8. So that one shall be 3 over 4. We say that we now multiply. Okay, we multiply by the reciprocal of this number. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9 over 8. So instead of writing 9 over 8, the reciprocal is 8 over 9. So let us now simplify. 3 here once, 3 into 9, 3 times. 4 here once, 4 into 8, 2 times. And 2 times, 1 times 2 is 2. So 2 over 3. And that now becomes the answer as 2 over 3. It's very simple. I want us to work out this before we move to this. 6 over 9 multiplied by 3 over 5. 6 over 9 multiplied by 3 over 5. So what do we do in this case? We simplify. 3 here once, 3 into 9, 3 times. We can also continue 3 here once, 3 into 6 twice. So 2 multiplied by 1 is 2 over 5. So the answer now becomes 2 over 5. Very simple. You can always get these answers in exams. You can always ask your friends, tell your friends how you can do them and get to know them. Let's check this one here. 4.5. Let's pick the whole numbers. And the whole number is 4 and 1. So we just add 4 plus 1 is 5. Then we put 5 that way. Then from there, we get the least common multiple of 2, 5, and 7. And it is, you get it by just multiplying 5 by 7 by 2. 5 times 7 is 35, times 2 is 70. So here we shall get our 70 there. Then now we are going to say that here we shall have 35 because 2 goes into 70 35 times. So we shall get 35. We shall add that 35 to 5 to this. 5 goes into 70 14 times, and 14 times 3. 14 times 3 is let's check. 14 times 3 is 42. So this one is 42. Then we shall add it to 42. Then plus again. Now we are working out this other side. 7 goes into 70. Sorry, it's a minus, not it's a minus. Subtract. We subtract to 7 here. 7 goes into 70. 10 times and 10 times 6 is 60. So you shall have 35 plus 42 minus 60. 35 plus 42 is 77. 77 subtract from 60 is 17. So now our answer becomes 5 whole and 17. 5 whole and 17 over 70. So that is how we work out this maths. It is a very easy thing. So we've also learned how we work out the perimeter. For those who are not with us, this one is the best channel that you can get any math tricks. We have also learned how we can work out the perimeter of this figure here. You just say perimeter is a half pi d plus d. Then from there, you say a half, because why do we put a half? It's a half semicircle. So a half multiplied by 22 over 7 times 28 plus 28. And the answer that shall come shall be 72. So that is the answer. We add 28 because it's a perimeter. That's why we have to add 28. So write 7 over 20 as a percentage. So you know this number is a fraction. This one is a fraction. So we have 7 over 20 as a fraction. When you want to change a fraction into a percentage, what do? We simply multiply by 100. We simply multiply the fraction by 100. Then from there we do what? We simplify or we cancel our numbers. So we can say that 20 goes here once, 20 goes into 100 5 times. So when we have 7 times 5 becomes 35%. So we have converted this from fraction to percentage, and it can also change from percentage to fraction by now putting this 35%. So we can now say that instead of we want to change it into a fraction, it shall now be 35 out of 100. Then from there, what do? We simply cancel. Let's take a number like 5. 5 goes into 100, 20. 5 goes into 35, 7. So we shall have 7 over 20. So you can see this fraction, 7 over 20, is what you are having here. So here we've converted that percentage, that is 35%, into a fraction. And when you convert 35% into a fraction, it becomes 7 over 20. So this percentage, that is 35%, you can also convert it into a fraction by putting 100 below it, because percentage is 100. Then from there we do what? We simplify, and the answer shall be 7 over 20. 7 over 20. So these ones are very easy things. Very easy things that we can always learn, get to know them, learn them, share with your friends, share with your relatives, and any other. Work out the area of the figure. Here is 73. So when you are told the area, so this side is also 73 because it's a square. Both sides are equal. So it is 73 multiplied by 73. Then you simply gets your answer. You simply gets your answer. So that is how it is. So maths is a very easy things. Math is something that is easy, and all of us should always know that it is one of the subject that is always enjoyable. You can always pass in maths. Maths only wants you to calculate things. So once you know how to calculate, you can always get good grades, and you can always pass, and you can always be the best and the best. Like for example, there's a question that a lot of people failed, like this one, whereby we are told like which one of the following is a 3D figure. Among these figures, which one is a 3D? So the one that was a 3D in this figure was this other one. Why do we pick this? Because a 3D figures always have both length, width, and volume. So that's why we choose this figure as a 3D. But not this, but not this, but not this. Okay. This figure does not have a volume because you cannot see the other side. This figure is circular, you cannot see the other side, you can only see the top. Same to this. But this figure you can even see the sides. That are the base areas you can check properly. So I want us to stop there. We shall proceed from there. Thank you so much guys for turning up. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Don't just pass like that. Make sure you subscribe. If you have subscribed, I really appreciate you. Get tuned. Just hold on into this channel as you share it to some of your friends who are in their various institutions or various places of learning. One thing that you know is that learning never stops, and we shall always proceed to learn. We don't stop. Just hold into this channel and remember to subscribe, because when you subscribe, it motivates you to continue giving you some of these concepts that we need to understand, that we need to learn, so that at the end of the day, we excel in life. Thank you so much, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Bye bye, and also like the videos and share. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.